Youths have been reminded that amidst their challenges and struggles in life, everything is made possible when there is God factor. As a result, they should hold on to God for the miraculous to happen. This was a charge given by the Primate of all Nigeria and the Bishop of Abuja Diocese, His Grace, the Most Reverend Nicholas Oko, through the Church of Nigeria General Secretary, the Venerable Geshenin Paul Dajur, during the 2019 Annual General Conference of the Anglican Youth Fellowship, Abuja Diocesan Council. The conference held at the All Saints Primary and Secondary School compound, Wuse Zone 3, Abuja.
If God that we worship is the God of all possibilities, it is abnormal that we, His children, should encounter impossibility.
The youths hold the future of the church and the nation at large. In order to ensure the brighter future for the Anglican Church and of course Nigeria, the Anglican Youth Fellowship of Abuja Diocese under the leadership of the quintessential President Ihanye Ima Opara converged at the All Saints Schools and the St. Matthias Anglican Church, Wuse Zone 3, Abuja, for the 2019 conference with the theme God of All Possibilities. The conference focused on raising godly leaders, spiritually minded Christian youths, business-oriented, amongst others. On the first day, the conference started with a Holy Communion service celebrated by the Wuse Archdeaconry AYF chaplain, Reverend Canon Smart Simon.
Already some of us are youth and are already serving in the Church of God. So a lot is being done already. But a lot still needs to be done. In terms of discipleship, in terms of mentoring, the church can still do more. But on the part of the youth also, they need to make themselves available for them to be mentored. They also need to be patient to be mentored. The greatest problem of the youth is that they are in a hurry to make it in life.
With men, it is impossible. But with God, all things are possible.
On the second day, it was the theme exposition by the General Secretary for the Anglican Church of Nigeria, Venerable Paul Dajur.
The youths must first run to God, because if they try to go through men, it will be difficult. But when they see God and they walk through God, it will be much easier and it will be the best way to handle their difficulties. But also, I think the youths must also find an appropriate definition of who they are. Their definition is not by their circumstances. It is not about what they have and who they have. It is about their identity in Christ Jesus. Then also I want the youth to understand that in a generation like this where there is so much frustration, it is expected of the youth to develop themselves by finding for themselves godly mentors and godly disciples who will raise them, who will disciple them, who will teach them the precepts of life.
The exposition gave way for the address by the diocesan president, where he addressed issues in the church and the nation as regards to the youths. The following day, the youths went through tests of their Bible knowledge as well as the Anglican Church.
Like when you talk about the quiz contest, and people oftentimes they don't know what they are, whom they are, until they do it. Most of them are doing well, and I believe that through the spiritual impartation, they can go out there and change the world.
The camp meeting ended with a Thanksgiving service in appreciation to God for a successful program. They didn't fail to also show gratitude to individuals as they handed awards of excellence to patrons and supporters of the fellowship, and also to the best performers in the quiz competition, amongst others. Some of the officials took us through the journey of the conference.
It is not easy to be committed to youth development, which we have seen in the life of our bishop and our primate, and it's something we really need to show our appreciation and then call on the clergy entirely to emulate his passion. Then in terms of politics, to realize that some youths have taken the bold steps in contesting. We have a lot of parishioners who we can refer to as senior citizens when it comes to politics. And this period we are seeing it as a new era, a new dispensation. Some of these youths who have shown interest, can be picked to be mentored. They can be made special and personal assistants to some of these our politicians.
I enjoyed the prophetic night. It was really a moment of God's presence and glory. Miracles happened, people were healed, and you could see people hungry for God the more. So it's something that I think I'm going to adopt some of their styles of doing things in my diocese.
The conference was to lead youths to Christ in a time where there are several social ills flying here and there. We recorded a number of persons who gave their lives to Christ. Some rededicated their lives, and some renounced some habits, that social and habitual issues they have been battling with.
This year, we had the privilege of the General Secretary of Nigeria being our guest speaker. I think compared to other conferences we've had so far, we had more delegates this year.
With respect to the spiritual aspect of this program, I think it was improved upon, especially with the Bible study. A lot was emphasized concerning faith in God and trusting God at all times, being patient, waiting for God's perfect time. And then there were other sessions like the prophetic sessions. There was the prayer uproar, where youths were allowed the freedom to pray, and enough time was given to prayer in the conference, which was an improvement.
Some of the resolutions and focus of the youths moving forward was declared by the president.
So we are not the only youth group in the diocese, so we're also committed to ensuring there is peaceful coexistence among the youth groups in the church. We all know that the youths, we have energy, so we want to commit to dissipating that energy in reaching out to the rural communities in the FCT. What we ask of the stakeholders is that when it comes to material things and financial support, we will require such to be able to carry out such activities. And then we are also committed to growing our business ventures. As a youth group, we have started up some business ventures in the diocese. So we want to nurture them and ensure they grow, to see how we can reduce the burden of funding on the diocesan.